Looking to stock up on high-quality Ayurvedic herbs? I've partnered with two of my trusted sources, Kerala Ayurveda and Gary and Son, to offer you 20% off their entire range of authentic products. From classical formulas to single herbs and seasonal must-haves, these are staples I use in my own practice. Use code Ojas Oasis for Kerala Ayurveda, Ojas Oasis 20 for Gary and Son. Links are in the show notes. Supporting your healing journey just got a little bit easier. In Ayurveda, nourishment isn't only about what we take in for the body, but also what we offer the heart. That's why we're honored to share Aura Cacao, a ceremonial grade cacao we've chosen as a dharmic partner for the Ojas Oasis community. Aura Cacao supports meditation, heart-opening rituals, and moments of conscious presence. As an exclusive gift for our listeners, use Ojas Oasis 20 for 20% off, and you'll find the link in the show notes. Welcome to Ojas Oasis, the podcast where ancient wisdom meets the modern being. I'm your host, Sasha, Ayurvedic doctor and guide on this journey into the heart of holistic wellness. On this show, we often talk about how to be okay. We share the timeless wisdom of Ayurveda, a path back to the divine, to source, to grace, especially when life does not feel okay, and we don't know how to be okay with what is or isn't happening. Sometimes, when we are confronted with nature's law of impermanence, it doesn't feel philosophical. It feels physical, like a hit to the chest, like the ground beneath us disappearing, like our center of gravity being flushed down the existential toilet in one brutal, disorienting moment. Beyond his acting career, James Van Der Beek was a shining light, a conscious, noble, gentle man who consistently shared from his heart with millions. It feels strange to speak of him in the past tense. Like many of the brightest souls among us, he immortalized himself through the presence he offered while he was here. He spoke openly about grief, about life and death, about the spiritual lens through which he viewed both. I personally felt safer knowing he existed in this world. He leaves behind 6 beautiful children, a beautiful wife, and countless people who sought comfort and insight from his words, including me. And for those of us reeling from loss, in whatever form it has come, is coming, or will one day come, I want to sit with you in it for a moment. If you do not have a compassionate witness in your life right now, may Ojas Oasis serve as one. May this space hold you in loving presence. None of us are getting out of here alive. We will all meet our final breath, and perhaps the reminder of our limited time here can soften us, bring us closer in shared vulnerability, our fear, our sadness, our anger, our grief, the empty spaces that were once whole. Some people cannot be replaced. Some losses just leave holes. Our job is not to make sense of it. Our job is to be with it. Whether we are okay or not, we are here, and we are in it together. Pain can fragment us toward destruction, or it can fragment us toward transformation. My prayer is that we allow it to soften us into more loving, patient, wiser, kinder beings. And James, I never got to tell you in person, but thank you. Let's get to our chat. All right.
What is up?
What is not up? Everything is up.
What is up?
Everything.
What is down?
Everything's
Who the
down
fuck
and
knows?
everything's up. Okay, everyone. So, okay.
Your name is Sasha.
Mm-hmm.
You are in Austin. Your feet are on the ground. Ish.
I've been going through such intense tidal waves of emotion the last 3 days. And I know I'm not alone in that. I know so many people around me that are also just like, I do not want to get out of bed. I want to hide. I do not feel well. Like, people are having breakups. People are shit is just hitting the fan for so many people. Everyone's just being impacted. And I sent you that funny skit last night about the astrology.
The guy is the best. That I watched every second of it, and I was like, first of all, I've heard this spiel before.
Yeah. Yeah.
So good.
You're
like, no, but really.
No, but really though, we have a Mercury and Rahu conjunction. In Chinese New Year, we're entering the year of the horse, and this is like the final week of the snake. So we're shedding any last bit of skin, last bit of energetic layers that we need to in order to like feel like we can get that horse momentum in the new year, which is February 17th. And that shedding is so painful. And those of us who are lunar beings like me, I feel things so deeply, and there's just no sugarcoating it. It is gnarly. It's really gnarly. And in every facet of life, it's gnarly right now. It's just like the pressure. Like, you and I have been talking lately about like financial pressure, and also like, starting a new company, and you want to build and you want to grow, and you also want to have a social life, and you also want to like maintain your fitness, and you also want to like look presentable to the world and not look like you literally haven't showered in a week. And so you have to like maintain face, you have to maintain some kind of inner something, like maintenance of like just at least just so you don't lose your shit every 5 minutes. But juggling this right now, the stars are not aligned to help and support us balancing all these balls in the air. So instead, a lot of balls are falling on our face.
Yes. Balls right to the face.
Balls to the face
style. Yeah. They're not even like dropping. They're like comets. Like,
and I'm just like peeling myself off the floor, but I just keep getting hit every time I like start to just kind of like, okay, I'm gonna get one foot up, and then I just fall again. I just get hit again by another thing. I'm like, oh, another this, another that, another. I have to sign another contract. I have to like, because I'm a founder now. I do not have anyone backing me, and I do not have an investor. I was speaking to my friend Shang the other day, who we're gonna have on the show. He's a YouTuber. He does this incredible thing called mind mapping.
Started talking about that last week.
Oh, we did? Okay, amazing. Yeah, I'm excited.
No, you just told me that I spoke to you the day that you were like going to do it with him, or you told us that you were going to do it.
It was postponed. A lot of things were postponed this week. Yeah, that was so anyway, but he and I do a lot of audio notes back and forth just because, he's like me in that way. They're like letters. Instead, they're like audio letters. I like it. I need it.
I reserve the right to, I honestly have to, every time somebody sends me a voice note for the first time, I'm like, it's going to take me at least 1 or 2 business days to respond to this, because I'm so bad at listening. Like, I look at the transcript. I don't know, as much as I'm an audio person, I have never sent a voice note. I don't intend to. No, never.
Oh, I think you would like, I feel like it's I don't know. Don't knock it till you try it. You might actually really like it. Texting is cumbersome. Using your thumbs to try to like convey a thing, that to me is harder than an audio note. No?
Nope. Hard pass.
Okay. Okay. What do you think the resistance is for you? Because you're so auditory.
I will have to explore this. I'm going to have to try it one day and see what it is that gives me the ick. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway. All right. Tangent. What did I interrupt? Oh, you and Shang passed them back.
Yeah. Just him saying, with mind mapping, and gosh, I don't know. Just, I could take the conversation so many different directions around like, I was also talking to my dear friend Trent, who's been on the show already. And so those two really showed up for me yesterday when I was crying because I got my doctor diploma shipped to me by my father, and it came with like the thing that I worked 8 years to do, and I custom framed it. I spent a long time picking out the frame, and I paid a lot of money for the custom frame, and he didn't even bubble wrap it. He just threw it in a box, and like I asked him specifically, I was like, Dad, this is like a very sentimental item. Please be careful with it. It's like the most valuable thing I have. It's like my heart in a frame, basically. And he didn't bother. And he has like a whole Amazon store in his basement because he has an eBay store, an online eBay store. So it came without any protection, and it, like, the frame is all fucked up. I mean, it just
Yeah.
hurts because it's the lack of care and the complete emotional neglect and abandonment that triggered all my childhood wounds around my parents and about my family. And it's just, it
Yeah.
was inflamed like hardcore. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Here it is. Here it is. And I've been doing a lot of work around this for years. It still hurts though, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Mm-hmm.
can consciously witness it. And sometimes just the emotional tidal wave still just swallows me and tumbles me around. And
Yeah.
again, I'm
Yeah.
being consciously tumbled. I'm not being consumed by it. Like, I'm not like, oh, what's going on? I know what's going on. I know exactly
Sure.
what's
Yeah.
going on. I know exactly I know my father's conscious. I just know he's not a conscious person. And I know he's not able to understand how to be a father. Like, I just know that that's just not something that it comes naturally to him, or is something that I think, like some people in other, cultures, but also not even other cultures. Some people just generally are just very disinterested in the role of parent. Like, just because you have kids doesn't
Totally.
mean you're a parent. Like,
Totally.
being like a
Yeah.
wise elder, being like, you earn certain titles. They're not just given, just because you
No, it is
like.
not. It's not natural just because you're a human.
Yeah. So I don't want to
It
like
isn't.
I don't want to spend the whole episode talking about my specific father wound or my specific mother wound or my specific family wounds, but I will just say that I think a lot of people are probably feeling something on the spectrum of, because what hurts us the most, the people that are closest to us. And like
Mm-hmm.
when those people hurt or disappoint or betray or neglect, and the astrology is set up in such a way that you're gonna just fucking feel it more. There's like less buffer, there's less cushion. We're in the last week of shedding, and it's like, oh, okay, I feel like my PMS also starting, and it's
Oh,
hardcore,
so
man.
real.
It's all happening. And just moved and just moving in. Like, I just ordered all my herbs for the clinic, and I had to sign the lease for the clinic. And I'm on my own in a new city. I still don't have my car. I still like don't have food in my fridge. Like, it's just,
Whew.
it's intense. So instead of
Mm-hmm.
like spending, I don't know, I want to show up authentically in this moment, also because we talk a lot about how to be okay on the podcast, but I think I want to try another perspective on it's also like about learning how to not be okay. Learn how to not
Mm-hmm.
be okay. Like, fucking be honest and be just, I'm not like, it's not chill right now. It's just not chill over here.
Yeah.
And yeah, it doesn't have to be all the time. Like, that life is dynamic and the weather changes every fucking day, you know? Like, the moon is
Mm-hmm.
literally changing on a continual basis. Sometimes it's waning, sometimes it's waxing. Sometimes
Yeah.
the sun is out, sometimes it's not. Like, sometimes it's raining, sometimes it's snowing, cold, hot.
It's
We are
very
the
dynamic.
same. We're the
Mm-hmm.
same.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And as much as
Yeah.
in yoga
Yeah.
we talk about that equanimity and that stability and yoga's chitta smriti nirodha, yeah, like we're gonna obviously find a lot more peace when we can find the stillness of the mind, but it doesn't change. Like, if we are in relationships with people, and if we are in the world doing things in the three-dimensional reality, like opening businesses and relying on other
Mm-hmm.
people, when you don't have
Mm-hmm.
a car, you're relying on other people. When you're in another state, you're relying on other people to ship you your stuff. You're relying on, like, we depend on one another. We depend on our friends when we're having an emotional mental breakdown and we want to fucking call somebody or text somebody or just tell them what's going on, and it was someone to listen. And so it's one thing if we're renunciates in the Himalayas thousands of years ago practicing yoga. Practicing yoga now looks very different than it did in the ancient
Mm-hmm.
times. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much I'm going to be able to serve if I can't be boots on the ground with everyone living in the shit show side by side. And I think honesty is a really important level. Like, I just think life is a leveler in and of itself. Like, I saw yesterday that James Vanderbeek died.
Oh,
Did you see
I
that?
know. Yes. And I couldn't go into the content because I was like, not today.
I know.
I'm not,
I know.
you know,
That
like,
just did it. That was like
sometimes you're
it.
like, I will when I'm ready.
I'm sorry to bring
Watch
it
the
up, but
sad. No, I get
he
it.
has like this gorgeous
It's touching,
family,
and I
6 kids,
yeah, I
you
know.
know, and just what a beautiful man, what a beautiful soul. Like everything he was sharing with his platform, and just as a man, he was just such a beautiful man. And yes, I was a fan of Dawson's Creek like every other girl of our generation, but
Not me.
oh,
Never
really?
watched a single episode, but I still know him to be a good human being.
Yeah, and then everything that he was talking about since he was diagnosed with cancer was all about time and how precious it is, and also like the whole, oh, it took him getting diagnosed with cancer to even like start having any type of like really having an ongoing relationship with God, whatever. And
Hmm.
he was like, if that's a triggering word, just say you. Just talk about yourself. Just talk about that inner world with yourself. If you don't want to say God, just be like, I'm worthy of love. You know, he had
Hmm.
so many amazing messages like that. And I don't
Yeah.
know, we're just losing a lot of good people lately. Catherine O'Hara passed away, the Home Alone mom,
Oh
and then Diane Keaton
God,
before that. And these are like
so much. Oh, I
staples of
know.
our like zeitgeist. Like these are major, not just movie stars or TV stars. These are people that are light, like just they're literally called stars for a reason. You know?
Hmm.
Like they are. Like
Hmm.
why do we call them
Hmm.
superstars? They're stars.
Hmm.
They have light. They shine this
Hmm.
incredible immense light, and then when they die, especially completely out of nowhere, or I guess because I thought James
Right.
Vanderbeek was on the mend with his, but it does stop you in your
I
tracks with
know.
all the stuff that you've got going on in your life, and you're like, oh, it ends one day. It all ends.
Impermanence.
Hmm.
All of it. This is always about impermanence, or it tends to come back to it, and it tends to be at a time when you are just least expecting it, and it just knocks you off your feet.
Feeling drained, stressed, or stuck in old patterns? Panchakarma is Ayurveda's ultimate reset, clearing toxins, balancing your doshas, and restoring your vitality from the inside out. At Soham Healing Resort, every detail is designed for your transformation. Personalized therapies, nourishing meals, and deep rest in a serene sanctuary. As an Ojas Oasis listener, you'll receive $500 off your Panchakarma retreat with code Ojas Oasis PK2025. These retreats book quickly and often far in advance, so don't wait to reserve your place today. Visit sohamhealing.com/panchakarma, and you'll also find the link and code waiting for you in the show notes.
Right. But I think a lot of what you're talking about, there's something I wanted to say at some point, but there's a separation of, like, you're talking about how it's okay to not be okay. And I hope that we can just work on taking the shame out of that. I think that's a big part of it, is you have moved from probably a place of like, we all have, I'm sure in some ways, of when you are feeling not okay, like also adding the pile on of guilt on top of it, that you shouldn't feel that way. And you have shifted that from a place of that pile on, I guess, to just like awareness of it. And you're conscious of that. So that takes years, decades, I think, sometimes to separate your body from your mind and be able to notice that your body is having a response to certain things. And your mind is like, okay, I recognize this pattern. I know what to do with this now. And just moving through it from a practical point of view instead of one of shame, or the pain is hard to avoid,
Mm-hmm.
because that just comes up, like your body just stores that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But to make your mind recognize that that's a pattern, and you have tools to work through it and respond to it. But I think that's really hard work to take away the kind of, I shouldn't feel this way, or blame for it, or whatever it is, when feelings of like not being okay come up, whether it's because of something shitty somebody in your family did, or because of just life being chaos and you just feeling totally buried or getting hit by stuff.
Having
Like
so much on your
that,
plate and being pulled in a million
yeah,
directions and not even being able to like
it's all
balance.
stress. And
Yes, yes.
yeah,
And you're like, you need to sleep too. And then how do you sleep when you have all these things that you're thinking about because the day didn't have enough? Sometimes no matter how early you get up, no matter if you meditate or not, The
Oh my
list
God.
is still the list.
Yes.
It's still
Yes.
there.
It is hard for me to not think of like my list, like while we're talking sometimes. Sometimes, when you're just so busy, you're just like, you like have the back part of your brain that's still occupied with it. And it is, it is so hard to fit it all in one day sometimes, that your subconscious keeps it going while you're sleeping or while you're, and then it's just this bad cycle where you're just not able to stay on top of it because I don't know, just the sheer volume of it sometimes.
It is the sheer volume, and again, I just know we're not the only ones feeling this. Like we're not, and I want to validate everyone. Really, I know how much it's hurt throughout my life when I tell someone something that, like, I told someone yesterday about the frame coming, and I was in bed. I literally couldn't move. I couldn't continue unboxing my items. I just turned off all the lights. I put all my electronics in a room. I went to my bed. I laid there. I stared at this. I just like cried for 3 hours. I just cried. I was like, didn't have, my nervous system was not ready to open this package with anything other than a perfect, beautiful my custom frame diploma. Anything less than that, I just didn't have the ojas to like process, and life is like demanding me to like roll with these punches right now, and I'm like, I actually am
Hmm.
not going to fucking roll. I'm going to sit and lay down.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to
Hmm.
lay down. I can't.
Yeah.
And I think you need to know when that moment is for you, your threshold. Like
Protect.
why are we, yeah, like this, just the constant call to be contained and hold and push through and be strong and be empowered. Okay,
Defend. Yeah.
maybe like
Uh-huh.
another day, like maybe you'll get a good night's sleep and wake up and be like, I'm going to get my ass out there to the gym and run it off and sweat it out. Which, by the way, I did that yesterday. I did have a good workout and I did have a good night's sleep. And that still wasn't enough. I'm still feeling, and I think if we just if we just can, because I'm seeing this happening around me where I get it. Feelings can sometimes feel inconvenient. Like I don't have time to feel stuff. Like I don't have time to like feel sad about my frame. I don't I can't, for me personally, again, I'm Cancer rising in Vedic astrology. I'm all water. Pisces sun, Scorpio moon. Water. I'm like a sensual, watery feeling person. I am sentimental as fuck about things. Like I care. I I really
I'm
am.
with you.
I am, and it's not about the material. It's about what it represents. Do you know what I went through for 8 years to get that? Like, do you know what it meant to me to finally get it in my hands and see the words Ayurveda doctor? Do you know what that means? And then to frame it, I mean, whatever. Yeah, we're all going to die and everything's going to turn to dust one day anyway. I get it, but like I'm venting here, but
No, it's
come
great.
on. Like can we just do like it, we can't dishonor ourselves by bypassing our own heartbreak sometimes. Like we actually have to sit with it and be like, "Oh my god, that broke my heart." And "Oh my god, this that other thing that happened earlier today, that really broke me too." "Oh my god, well at least my heart's open and can actually feel." I don't know. I'm not subscribing to this like zombie. I can't.
Just keep going.
First of all, I can't, as
Yeah.
a healer, I can't close myself. I have to constantly be channeling through the heart. The heart is the thing that feels and nurtures and can give you the clarity and to help you and everyone else. And if I close that, it doesn't work. Like I can't logically help people. I have to help people through my love, through my
Yeah.
heart, through my
Yes.
feeling.
But what that means for you too, though, is that you also need to replenish that. Because as you were talking about that, I was almost interpreting it as like, when you are doing healing work and you have an open heart all the time, and you're like, I can't close it. I was almost perceiving you saying that you don't often get the opportunity to close off a little bit and replenish. It goes both ways,
That's
right?
true.
Where you're like, it's a blessing and it's also a challenge that you need to find that time. I find that as a parent all the time. There are days that I'm doing so much emotional labor with my kids or my partner, whatever, just the three people I live with, but often my kids, especially when you gave an example, or I think a lot of this is, I often think about parenting when we talk about this stuff because it's a lot of my life. But when, for example, another kid is being persistent in being harsh or mean or physical, whatever, with words, you have to say that there's two things that you can do. One is to respond and teach and help and work through it and defend and say things like, no, I'm not going to be treated this way. And there's times where I'm like, leave the room, protect yourself. Right. So that what you're talking about, in the sense that like sometimes we all have the energy to, or it's appropriate to push through, respond, defend. And other times you're like, I need a child's pose. I need a break from this. I need just to physically leave or just protect. I teach that stuff to my kids all the time. And you do have to discern where there's a point of like diminishing return, where you're like, I could continue to push through this, but I'm actually going to get worse results than if I just let myself sit and feel and process it and then respond with more strength after. I was saying that I often have days that I'm spending a lot of time with emotional labor. And those, the end of the days, you really do have to, or the beginning of the days, you have to find the time to actually close off a bit. And I hate to be like recharge, replenish, but that's really what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why I just started doing my daily sadhana that we discussed with Jess, with the mala beads and the mantra and stuff. But it really has been great making sure that I have that time set aside, because inevitably, whether we plan to or not, our days are going to be filled with emotional labor. Like yours always are. Name a day that you haven't held a lot of space for, inevitably, right? By the end of every day, you're like, okay, once again, this day was a lot of work. So why not
once again
actually budget time once again? Like, we should stop being surprised. Like every day is hard. Every day is great. Also, every day is hard in many ways too. So plan on it. And if we can budget things like 12 minutes in the morning to prep or 12 minutes in the evening to restore, then whatever, you still might get a shitty night's sleep and the next day still might be hard, but you got like 12% juice or maybe a bit more. Right.
And I hear you say this and I'm like, I love it when the student becomes the teacher and when the teacher becomes the student, and it has to be that way. We have to continually be there to remind one another of the rituals, the daily, just the 5 minutes, take the 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, just do something to ground yourself. What's interesting is I know a lot of people in the spiritual community and a lot of people in leadership roles, and the stereotype that is so prevalent is just that we put people on a pedestal and then they disappoint us. And it's harder even when someone's a spiritual person who has been we've idolized in ways because it helped guide us through hard moments of our lives. And then we hear that that man is actually a predator, or sexually abusing women and taking advantage of vulnerable women and exploiting their earnest open mind and open heart, and them wanting to go deeper in these subtle places, and then those same people that are entrusted with that role, they take advantage. And so I know so many people that I think if you get so stuck in that teacher role and that identity, and that starts to become very egocentric. And that's why I actually consciously and very intentionally, sometime from time to time, as it feels authentic to do, I share from this more raw, open, honest place, because I just don't see any other way anymore to be able to consistently purify the role of teacher. If we're playing a role of teacher, then it's just ego. It's more ego. It's look at me and all I know and all that I've done. That is just it. You're missing the point, And I think it's so much better for anyone in positions where they have knowledge to share, a platform to share it, and people who are listening to them. The most responsible thing to do that is continually humble yourself before the people that are allowing you into their consciousness and saying, by the way, I am feeling it too. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. I'm feeling it hardcore. It is. And again, like we can do the sadhana, wake up, meditate, do some Surya Namaskar, do the mantras, have a nice, digestible, unctuous, warm meal, Ayurvedic porridge or something like that, and some yummy tea. And then, like we said, Erin, the list is still glaring at us on the table. And we still have to be like, okay, let's do this. And again, and if you are at a place where you are scaling means you're widening your capacity. You're widening, you're saying, I'm going to take on more. I'm going to invest more so that I can grow more. Okay. That is going to probably hurt. You're stretching, you're stretching more than you've ever stretched before in your life. So it's not supposed to feel great. I'm sorry, but like nobody who's like never stretched in their life comes into a yoga class and tries to go into a forward fold and is like, "Oh yeah, that's good." Like no, people like I can't go past my knees. Some people can barely bend there. You know what I mean? Like barely go over it all. Or like they're those guys that lift a lot and they can't even put their arms over their head because their shoulders are so tight. So yeah, we're in the, you know, in a sense where I like the analogy of physical fitness a lot, because when you're like any new muscle that you're using, it's not very strong, is it? Like it hurts. And then the next day you feel that.
Yes.
And you're like,
Yes.
oh, wow, I don't know if I've ever used that muscle in my forearm.
Yes. But it's the same thing intellectually, mentally, right? Is I think a point you're making too, is that there are days similar to where you're using your heart a lot, like using that muscle. By the end of the day, it hurts, it's exhausted, it needs replenishment. Same thing with your mind, where you have days that you've learned a ton or just like had to think through hard stuff and you're like, oh my gosh, I am mentally wiped, where you're just laying there with your thoughts swirling in your head. That can wipe you out too, and that can hurt in a way. I've talked again, I talk to my kids about this, but there have been days where I've been like, yeah, it hurts. It's hard learning a new thing, right? It can hurt. They're learning to read and write English, right? English is a fucking weird language. Okay.
Yeah,
First of all,
there's weird rules.
it is hard. And when they're struggling through it, I'm like, same thing as when you are exercising and you're going through a hard moment exercising. Like it's a bit of a struggle while you're going through it sometimes. And then each time you practice, it gets easier and easier. And then you don't, you know, your muscle of your mind grows.
Mm-hmm.
But while you're going through it, yeah, it can like actually hurt and bother you and be hard to work through. It's all the same. Like you said, the physical analogy of exercising and growing a muscle in your forearm, right? Like, yeah, any growth requires a bit of boundary stretching, which isn't comfortable.
But stagnation and not learning new things is death. It's literally the opposite of life. It's the opposite of why we're here. We're here to, like, it's going to be uncomfortable a lot of the time. And I think we are tempted often when we see this illusion of stability in the world, because stability is fleeting. I mean, there's some things that are stable. Trees are pretty stable.
Mm-hmm.
Some friendships.
Mycelium are here forever.
Yeah, mycelium. Yeah. The sun, you know, feels pretty, like we know the sun's going to come out each day. Like that feels good to just know, okay, I can count on the sun to be out in the morning, and then okay, it's going to set. It's going to set, and then we're going to have some darkness, and we can be able to go to sleep. So certain things feel stable, but most things are variable. Most things are variable. Nature's variable. Yeah. So like
again, it always comes back to that.
It always comes back to like non-attachment, letting go.
Non-attachment, blah blah blah.
Right,
yep,
right.
thing.
I know. It's not a fun like experience.
Yeah,
it's just not.
Surrender every time. You're like, fuck, no.
I have to like
it's hard.
Repeat it in my head. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender. I surrender.
I should try that sometime.
I surrender.
Like white flag. Just have like a little pocket white flag that I just wave to my kids. I give up.
That's actually hilarious. I love that idea.
You win.
Yeah.
You take this one.
Just
I'm gonna go.
have it. I need to go to bed. Yeah, it's like
Have
here.
it. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can take it. Yep. You win.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little white flag.
Laughter helps, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's what
it
we've
really
got.
Does.
That's our
Yes.
thing.
Hi.
That's what we have.
Yeah.
It's really important.
We're all going crazy. What do we do? Where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? What do you want to talk about next?
We have to laugh until the asteroid hits. I don't know. It feels like it's
so
close.
True.
It feels like no.
There is a full moon next. Isn't there? I have been told to keep my ass inside next week when there is a full moon.
Correct.
Right?
No, it's not just the full moon. It's a solar eclipse.
Solar eclipse.
There's an eclipse happening the same day of the new year, I should say. The new year is on the 17th. That's when the solar eclipse is.
Yes.
That's why it's so intense for us, the people that feel stuff.
Yeah. I feel stuff. I'm gonna have to hide.
Yeah. I should have gone into, I don't know where I should have gone this week, but participating.
I'm just looking at my calendar.
I'm like, having some regrets about my participation the last few days. Like,
yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, the withdrawal is, like the turtle withdrawing its appendages into the shell. Sometimes, yeah, and I'm thinking fasting, I think is definitely a good idea. For me right now, intermittent fasting has helped a lot, and taking walks outside without my phone.
That's such a good one. I've tried to be better at that. It's such an interesting instinct in New York City when you walk around, like everybody has earbuds in. And everybody walks around here, which is cool, but it's like, it's so tempting to, when I immediately go outside, to put mine in and listen to music or podcast. And I'm trying to I don't often not have my phone on me, but at least even just walking around without something in my ears is an active challenge to me, but it's so helpful. Those walks, just observing, listening, and not being attached to consuming anything else.
Well, it forces presence.
Right.
It's
actually really nice when I was on double crutches and I couldn't use my phone. I was like, well, I can't even look at Google Maps when I need to. If I'm going across town, like I will be phone free for 30 minutes or however long it would take me when I was on my two crutches. So that was actually kind of nice. But anyway, you were saying something.
I feel like I should ask about you and how is your heart lately? How is your,
oh my God.
Yeah, let's get Erin's turn. Erin's turn. Yeah, I mean, yeah, how are you?
Oh gosh. What a question. That's such a funny one to answer sometimes. Today, in this moment, I feel great. I'm frustrated because there is not hot water consistently in this damn apartment. So I thought I would have a refreshing shower before this. And once again, here we are. I'm just like, all right, just rolling up. But no, I'm good. It was the kid's 6th birthday yesterday. So it's been
Happy
extra
birthday
busy.
To Billy and Enzo.
Yeah.
6 years old.
It's wild.
Aww.
It's wild, but it's just been busy. I have been baking so many cakes. As you know, my daughter, she has ideas, so creative ideas. So I had to use ChatGPT, like, hey, here are all of the requests that my daughter has made. Can you help synthesize this into like some efficient recipes here?
Nice.
like,
great use of AI. Yeah.
She literally has like cross sections drawn out of like how she wants things to look. Anyway, so it's been fun though. We had a lot of celebrating yesterday, or just like a nice day with them yesterday. But it's just, it's time consuming. They're having a party tomorrow. We're going to have a bunch of kindergartners in our apartment doing Play-Doh competition stuff. I don't even know.
So cute.
Like, yeah, it'll be fun. It'll be really, really fun.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. They're like very into this. Well, there's this show where there's this competition. It's a competition of teams of kids paired with, kids and adults. And there's a theme and they have to do this big build using Play-Doh and present their scene, whatever. So that's what they're doing for their birthday party. And so there's a lot.
I love that
you involved.
It's amazing that you get the perspective on a daily basis of life through children, because being around kids,
yes,
things just feel a lot less heavy because they're so light and they're so pure and they're so like free. And You're like,
Totally.
oh yeah. And they're so present because they're not, consumed by all the
Yeah.
stuff. So they're just, it's so easy to.
Yeah. And they ask some good questions. I mean, it is fascinating. If I could document all of the questions Enzo asked Billy to, but Enzo tends to be our philosopher, the questions they ask about our origins and like the universe and time and space and like these
Wow.
very basic things about like, oh, it is challenging, first of all, but it does take you back to the basics of like, why are we here? How did we get here? And questions even about dying that come up. I don't even know why I say even, but basic things like this. We're laying in bed last night. And so I was like, when we're grown-ups, are our grandparents going to die? Oh my God, it's 10 p.m. And I have to figure out how to talk about that right now. And I always just choose honesty and whatever. But anyway, not to go down that path, but they ask really, really good questions. I bought Enzo a book, his 6th birthday, called About Time. And it's a book about time, and it relates it to nature and the moon and the solar system and just who created the calendars and the different what's in a day, what's in this conceptual stuff. They don't understand a minute like truly, these are basics that you teach people, but you teach them ideally using nature as a guide. But it is hard to explain this stuff. And you're questioned with that and you're confronted with that on a daily basis when you're parenting. And it's wonderful because you do relive, it's like I hate to say like a rebirth, but you truly are guiding them through their first years of life. Therefore, you are living them yourself as well. So it's both restorative and healing and extremely challenging.
I'm sure all parents listening to this are going to relate very much to what you're saying. And I can only imagine, since I don't have children of my own, but I understand, like, even just being around kids, like, I've been around your kids enough, and like, I understand being with them and like dropping into that childlike conscious that,
Yep.
like it brings, oh yeah, let's play, let's make whatever, like all these cakes, and we all have an inner child, so it's fun. It really is fun to get to drop back into that part of ourselves with kids.
It is amazing to be able to relive and find, but man, do you know how hard it can be to just be asked to just play on the spot when you have been in full intellectual mode or logistical mode, or you just have adult shit to do, or you would just have a list to be like, can you play Uno with me?
Yeah, let's just play now.
Yes, a card game is actually what an ideal parent would do right now. But then you're like, that in itself can require some budgeting when you know that you have a busy day to be able to say, okay, I'm going to take 15 minutes with my kid and I'm going to put all my stuff aside, and then I'm going to compartmentalize it for a little bit and get back to it. But it's a joy, but it can also be a challenge to just like shift between those two things like very quickly. Yeah. There's a lot of agility required there, and it's not always available. So thankfully, it's been mostly a joy with the kids. With mine, they've been really adaptable and happy. I think it's like a big part of it. They're healthy and happy. So that's been fun. I've been investing a lot more in I'm involved with the school a lot. I'm involved with this nonprofit I've told you about, the Children's Film Festival, New York International Children's Film Festival plug. I've been doing a lot of work with that. So I've been really getting to know a lot of the parents and the people in the community, which has been really cool. And I think very healing for it's twofold, where it's, energizing and healing and just wonderful. I love like building community and being social, but it also can be consuming, or time it adds to the list. Yes. It's wonderful to grow your system, like your constellation of people, and build those bonds. And they require maintenance.
I was just literally, and they require maintenance. I was just going to say that, like,
require maintenance.
Yes,
what a wonderful thing to have a friendship, but you got to keep that friendship.
Yeah, and it's not easy, man.
Or a work relationship, whatever the relationship is, professional, romantic, platonic. does not matter.
You're so
Like,
right.
you want to keep it up.
You're so right, man. Like, and it's
Thank
not,
you. Thank
you
you.
are. Yes. Yes.
I'm going to go now.
No, don't. No, we have 15 more minutes. Yeah, it's so funny because you and I know we're very, so like when we're in group settings, we are like we're very, social butterfly-y. We like, we like talking to people. We are just, I don't know, we could be easily perceived as extroverts.
Mhm.
And the opposite of social anxiety. Like I love get me into a party. I love like being around
Yeah.
people. I meeting new people, talking about
Yep.
new things. And then oh my gosh, I'm not that, like, because I'm so deep with my relationships. I and like you said, we have a finite amount of time every day, and we have stuff we have to do
Yeah.
every day. It's so hard. I do find myself being like, "Oh, I was so excited. I thought I made a new friend, but like I don't actually think I have time to see them or like
Hmm.
talk
As evidenced by my
as
unread
evidence."
texts or my
Yeah.
unread emails. Yes. Like,
Yeah.
there's
And
proof that I actually don't have the capacity for this wonderful friendship I just made.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Hmm.
not for lack of loving people and wanting to be with people all the time. It's just, oh, it's the balancing of all of it. And yeah, most of them fall through the cracks and it really hurts. It's like, damn, I love that girl. Where did she go?
Hmm.
That was like months ago. We were supposed to go
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
coffee or go to a yoga class. I'm like, oh, okay, well, it's probably too late, you know?
Yep.
Or yeah. And honestly, dating at 36, I don't
Hmm.
know. It's funny because I think the grass is always greener on the other side. I know that it can feel very monotonous when you're with the same person for so long and you're married and you're just like blah blah blah. It's the same. And you're like, God, what I give to just change it up and go and be a free agent again. But then you come out here, Erin, and the dating field, I think you
Just as
very,
chaotic.
no, it's, but well, it's not, like, I don't know. You can't just take the two and compare the two at face
Yeah.
value. Like some people are
Yeah.
very
Agree.
happily married and some people are very unhappily married. Some people are very happily
Hmm.
single and some people are very unhappily single. And since
Yep.
we've got Valentine's Day coming up and this episode will, I mean, it will be forever green, but I
Mm.
love making episodes that are evergreen and they'll always hit, but I do think that this is something that we all, so actually some of us don't care about Valentine's Day at all. Like some people really
Hmm.
do not care. I'm starting to get to that place because I've been single long enough
Yeah.
where I'm like, and another single like I don't,
Hmm.
there's no like there's no like benefit to the holiday for me. So
Sure.
and so,
Sure.
so unless you're like with someone and it's an opportunity to do something cute, I think it can just be a reminder of your aloneness and
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
thinking that there's something wrong with wanting romantic love. Or I was talking to a friend actually yesterday about how she's so happy in every facet of her life, except that she wants a partner. Literally every other bucket in her life is totally full. She's so happy with everything else. And she's like, I'm trying to not focus on the one thing that's missing. I'm trying to just focus on the things I have. And, I'm like, but you
Yeah.
know
Of
what?
course.
Desire is powerful. And
Yeah.
it's also good to own our desires and have a healthy relationship with our desires. And there's
Our
nothing wrong with
yearnings.
wanting that. There's nothing wrong
Hmm.
with wanting it and noticing.
It's a shame. Again, that's the shame. Detaching from that. Yearning is natural. Like, notice what it is that you're yearning for.
Yes. And there's plenty of,
Figure out if it's a healthy thing or not.
yeah.
Often a hard step as
Mm-hmm.
well.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Yeah.
assess.
Yeah. Yeah. But the most important thing isn't controlling. I mean, yes, okay. The word control also is kind of like an aggressive word, but I opt for the word like noticing or witnessing or being aware of or drawing attention to, giving space to a thing so that you're not reacting
Hmm.
to the thing. So it's not really a problem to want something that you don't have, but the problem is the resistance to the moment. It's always the resistance to the present moment that is what creates this incredibly unnecessary spiral of, like you said, shame and pain and just emotional suffering that
Wishing things weren't what they were.
right. And I just think it's a bug in our software as human beings, you know. And I know I'm hoping that we can like rewrite that
When that's
code.
coded.
It's
Yeah.
coded deep.
Like,
And it
yeah,
takes a long
it is.
time for our genetics to like evolve in a direction that is better for our because that's just not serving us. That whole pattern is just, it's not
Yeah.
a pattern that's really doing good things for our health and our longevity. So I feel like all the spiritual teachings, when we want to make it relevant to the modern day being, we want to take the teachings of Ayurveda, all these words like ojas, prana, yoga, aparigraha, and pratyahara, and the yamas and niyamas, and all these shavasana. Oh my gosh. Let's talk about the last
Surrender.
pose. Yeah, the very last pose in every single sequence. You lay down and you're practicing death. It's literally corpse pose is how it's translated. Shavasana is corpse pose. And it's because we're practicing the moment. We're all going to get there. We're all going to get to the last breath. We will all reach our last breath. It's good to have some dress rehearsals. You know, and by the way, there are so many dress rehearsals for death all the time because, like we were saying earlier today, I mean, these beloved stars that we grew up watching and laughing and crying with, they die, and we feel that, and we feel the death of certain dreams or the death of certain like versions of ourselves or the death of
We
relationships.
grieve a lot.
We grieve, yes.
Micro grief all the time.
Micro. Mm-hmm.
I mean, right?
Yeah.
Any time that you are confronted with that attachment and the surrender to losing something, which again can happen all the time, all the time throughout the day. Like I said, these like micro moments of grief, micro loss all the time.
It's like a micro dose of death. I actually like thinking of it that way.
Loss is loss. Yeah.
And psychedelics actually have found that when people talk about their ego deaths and their psychedelic experiences, that's another dress rehearsal. It's another like, oh, just so you know, there's like infinite other dimensions and perspectives of seeing the exact same event. There's so many stories we can write about the things that are happening, the things that are not happening. We can decide, oh, this is all preparation. This last week of the shedding of the snake before we enter the horse, we are being prepared. You know what I mean? We don't want to take that. We don't want to take those layers that are not serving us into the new year. We want to be lighter. Who knows, a week from today, we could both just be feeling like incredible with the new year. We could be like, oh yeah, okay. But guess what? There will always be another transition and another new year and another shedding and another something else. And on it goes, and it builds this resilience.
On and on it goes.
On and on it goes.
It's a good summary.
On and on it goes. That's actually a good name of a podcast. On and on it goes.
Boom. You're welcome. Yes. I mean, that's what a moral of the story. Like life goes on.
Yeah. It always
doesn't it?
Yes.
And we have the choice each moment, whether it is a moment that we are defending or protecting or surrendering or like leaving the room. You know, metaphorically, literally, however you want to take that, but it's all a choice in how we respond. But either way, it just continues.
And you know what you just said? I would love to conclude this particular episode with the power of choice. What you just said, the power of choice.
Yes.
We have that. We don't get to control much, but we do get to control how we respond to things, how we react to things.
I say that every fucking day to my kids.
Yeah, well, good. I hope it sticks.
To choose how you feel in this situation.
Yeah.
This is a shitty thing that's happening right now. How do you want to respond? How do you want to respond? Not saying how you are responding. How do you want to? You can't change a thing. It's about how you can respond. You have the power to choose. It's a practice. But it's a good reminder. You can choose to feel shitty about the thing that's happening right now. And that honestly is a good choice sometimes, to feel shitty and be like, this really sucks what's happening to me right now. And I need to feel it and experience it and let my body actually process the thing. And then sometimes it's like, nope, not today. Let's be, there's time for resilience,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's time for just letting things absorb.
Can I ask you, your style of parenting, is it inspired by your mom and grandmother?
I'm sure, I think inspired, I'm sure there's a big percentage of it that is just natural in given how much I know that parenting does affect how your kids turn out. So I know that I'm sure, of course, my parents had an impact on how I parent, but I don't know. I don't know. How would you describe my parenting style? Then I can figure out if I can compare it
You're
or
very
attribute it somewhere.
you put so much intentionality behind how you explain things. You are just
Mm-hmm.
incredibly, you give your kids so much respect in that you honor their curiosity, and instead of being like, I don't know, or being like you put the actual time and attention to every single question they ask. Like you actually truly give it
You're
the
not there all the time,
I know,
but yeah,
but
most of them.
like I
I know. No, I know what
and
you're saying.
but they also come up a lot on the podcast, and I know that they're like, when you're giving this, the stories about what's happening and how you're explaining things to them, there's just a very deep level of intentionality. So I think that's probably the style that I'm referring to, is just you have that particular, you want them to be knowledgeable, you want them to have this knowledge, and you want them to be emotionally intelligent and capable and empowered. And so you're always just, I just feel like you're always teaching them tools.
Well, thank you. I will say two things. I mean, I take that as a compliment.
Yeah, it is a compliment.
I think one of the key words is respect, not to be like, I know I'm like great, but I do think a difference sometimes, honestly, in not just parents, but the differences between generations in general. And I'm talking about us and the generation above us, above, below, whatever, is respect for those generations and an understanding that they have as much to offer as we do. We aren't necessarily right, like an openness to the idea that somebody, again, that is a generation older or younger than us, maybe onto something, and their feelings are all valid. And especially with kids that you're raising, one of the things you have to learn very, very quickly is that they behave in ways that you have taught them to behave, whether it's through your DNA or your modeling
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
of such behavior. So if you don't like it, that's on you, man. That's you right there. So you have to recognize that this is all stuff that you teach them. And you want to talk about the power of choice? Okay. You don't want to raise an asshole. You don't want to live with an asshole. Don't fucking be one or raise one.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, it
Mm-hmm.
would behoove you to be a good parent if you want to make your life better and easier and more enjoyable. It's really hard to do though, especially when your circumstances don't allow. If you honestly don't have much time to spend with your kids, if you are working several jobs, if you are juggling the childcare and all kinds of, oh God, relationships in your life and a spouse or no spouse, it's really fucking hard to be a good parent. And it's hard to give them that space and time and respect. It is difficult to come by. I have learned a lot in learning how to carve out that time and space and respect for them. I don't always get it right, but I do try to give them that. And yeah, I think the second point I was going to make is like, yeah, some of it is a bit selfish where you're like, and maybe selfish isn't the right word, but again, there is self-service when you teach your kids good behaviors. Like it'll help you in the end. Makes my life easier by having kids that are independent and can speak for themselves and work through situations by themselves. Frees up my time.
Critical thinking skills.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can do this. You don't need, like, there is of course a component to it that is like, yeah, that will make it, there's a million places I could go with that. We all just, it feels good to be responsible for ourselves. It is good to be a contributor to our community. Like all these things about our contributions are important. So I wanted that innate thought to live within them, that like work is good or just responsibility is, I hate to use the word good.
Positive, I guess.
Yeah, it's just like, well,
Productive
it makes
or
you happy and healthy. I try to say
yeah,
happy,
there you go.
healthy.
There you
You
go.
know, when we talk about what is success, what is productive. I always try to come back to
Mm,
happiness and health are the things that we're working for. So I promise you're going to be happier and healthier if you contribute
there you go.
in X, Y, Z ways. That's all I try to go back to. But also them having independence and doing those things. Yes, it also helps me, and it takes work to maintain a respectful home and a place where people feel like they can all be themselves and talk about it. But you're constantly exhausting each other just by being around each other.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes, you know, it's it. So it's a practice for everybody, and it can be really challenging at times. But I think we all, when I say we all, I mean me, my husband, and our two kids. I think we all are doing our best to respect each other and recognize, like, I don't know, the ebbs and flows of the energies of all four people living under one roof all the time is just like insane. And it's like never in
Yes.
balance or never
Yes.
totally in harmony. So I just have to trust that we're all trying our best to keep it harmonious.
There's
But it takes work.
that word householder I think about right now with what you're talking about,
Oh,
holding a house, a holder. You're holding a family. You're holding all this energy under, like you said, under one roof, and it's a lot to hold.
it's wild. It's a pinball machine, man. It's crazy in here.
Mhm.
You know, it can be. It can be. It really can be. Yeah. And other times, totally not. But it takes effort amongst everybody involved to be responsive and receptive and knowing when we're all different percentages what we all need to bring. But it's
Mhm.
hard to do that with 6-year-olds. Like, you're teaching them how to do that while you're doing it.
Yes. No, it's not an easy gig. I would
No.
never, I would never call it
Yeah.
easy.
It's
And
wild.
I do see some similarities. I know we got to jump off, but I will say, like, for the ones listening that don't have families or like are not parents, I think that there's still the crossovers with running teams if you have a business or if you're, at work.
Yes.
Like anytime you're relating with anyone like in close proximity and you want there to be harmony. And so yeah, the best place to start is within yourself and also like I don't know, this is why they have sick days and this is why they have personal days and we're
Yeah.
not just I don't think the expectation is realistic that we're going to show up every day like Mrs. Sunshine all the time. Some
Yeah.
people are like that naturally and God love them. Thank God for those people, but
Mm-hmm.
others are the vast majority of us are we will be susceptible to the changes around us and we have to I think just stay vigilant and aware. I think the vigilance isn't always like, oh, add another self-care routine or add another this or add another that. Sometimes it's, well, I will say two things, two last notes. One thing is what can you just like realistically not do today if you feel like absolute hell? Like what are just the things that like aren't the absolute emergency urgent items on your list? Can you just not do all those things that you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um and you'll probably wake up the next day and be twice more effective if you just like honor where you're at and actually are honest with yourself about
Mm-hmm.
you're not at any kind of place to be doing any of those types of things today. You're just not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think number 2 is don't run from it. You can't run forever. You're eventually going to, I don't know, it's going to hit hard if you keep running. So instead of running from the tidal wave or whatever, for me, it's a tidal wave because I'm all water signs. So I experience things like an ocean. For you, it might be a fireball or a comet or like a
Yes.
gust of wind or a tornado or like an earthquake, whatever it feels like to you, according
Mm-hmm.
to your constitution. Instead of running your whole life from the elements, I think just let it have you for a day. Let it
Mm-hmm.
rock you around and feel all the things and then you're not going to die. You're just it's going to feel like death, but what it's really
Yeah.
doing is it's just recalibrating you, transforming you and you got to shed that stuff and I know it hurts and it's painful, but I think I just want to say there's purpose, there's a purpose for it and utility for it and like you said Aaron, you'll be happier and healthier if you kind of just allow the process,
Mm-hmm.
allow it and trust it
Yeah.
and surrender. That's my last thing, surrender.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
surrender, I surrender, I surrender.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's all good
It's
points.
a good affirmation to repeat.
On and on it goes.
And
Yes.
breathe. Breathe.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. I have been enjoying my daily mala practice. That's been that's a good, I will just say it, just put it out there in the universe for anybody that's like getting back into or trying to establish a sadhana or a meditation practice or something small. I think that was like, I'm a good example of that. I was struggling. And besides going to yoga class, I didn't really have a practice, and mala beads have been a really, really nice with the mantra that I have been saying in my head while I do it. It's just been a really helpful practice. I think that's a good place to start for people too. And because then you're breathing during that as well. So it's nice.
What is your mantra? Do you feel okay to share what your mantra is, or is it personal?
I don't really, no, I don't really want to share it. It's not like, it was given to me by Jess, who
got it. Yep. Sometimes they're personal and you don't want to leak the energy of the mantra. You want to keep it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in some ways I do want to do that. It's not like it was, something that a guru passed down to me and it's some, highly confidential thing. But no, it's to invoke water. I need water.
Got it.
So it's to invoke water. So it has to do with Venus, and not necessarily. It's to protect Venus with water from a water god.
Ooh,
that's basically what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's nice. And I have Jess's voice in my head saying it, so that's even better. And eventually it becomes like a neutral voice, right? But I have her, she sent me a voice recording of her saying it 6 or so times. So I have that 108 times 3.
I'm so happy.
Which is nice.
So happy you got the astrology reading and that resonated and that's continuing. That makes me so happy.
Yeah, it's great. Bit by bit. I started that just this week. I had to go to my house and retrieve my mala beads, and I'm using a nice set that my friend Sheehan gave me. She's practicing Buddhist, and she gave me these like beautiful mala beads a long time ago. I have a few from, I think I have a set from you. I think I have a set teacher trainings. Yeah, that sort of thing. But I liked hers because I don't know. So I had to bring that back, and then I started this past Monday. So it's been nice.
Well, I love you.
I still have to process that whole, I have a whole report, and I still have to process the whole thing. Like I truly need to read it a couple times and like really go through it. It was really, really lovely. So shout out to Jess
Luzignan.
Yeah, she's amazing.
She's very good.
Yeah, it was really, really great. I feel like that was very energizing. So anyway, I love you. I've got to run. I have physical therapy, so I'm going to take care of that.
Have a good physical therapy and
thanks.
A good weekend and a good everything.
Yes. Happy Valentine's Day early.
Happy Valentine's Day. You could be my galentine.
Also, fuck Valentine's Day.
Also, fuck Valentine's Day. Yes.
Both things are true.
Yes. And.
Yes, and.
Yes, and.
All right. I love you. I got to run, literally. Bye.
Okay, bye. Before you go, if you're ready to dive deeper into your healing, check the show notes to book a 45-minute exploratory call with me. If you mention you're a subscriber of the podcast, you'll get 50% off your initial intake consultation. A 2-hour deep dive, normally $400, now just $200. You'll also find exclusive 20% discounts on trusted Ayurvedic herbs from Kerala Ayurveda and Gary & Son. Just click the links to apply the savings automatically. Ojas Oasis is a labor of love, a podcast born from a deep desire to share the timeless wisdom of Ayurveda, Vedic ritual, and holistic healing with seekers around the world. Every episode is carefully crafted to bring you inspiring conversations, ancient insights, and practical tools for living a radiant, balanced life. If the show has nourished your spirit, helped you feel more seen, or guided you on your healing path, you can now support our work by buying us a coffee or golden milk. Your support goes directly toward producing high-quality episodes, keeping the podcast ad-light and mission-focused, expanding our offerings to serve you even more deeply, and whether it's a one-time cup or a monthly offering, we are so grateful. Click the link in the show notes to support the podcast and keep the wisdom flowing.